Hello, and welcome back to another interrogation breakdown. We've been doing murder interrogations lately, so today we're going to do a theft interrogation. Today we are covering the interrogation of Matthew Boynton. He was arrested on July 29th, 2017 for the theft of belongings owned by his ex-wife. In this next bit, the detective reads him his rights and has him sign a waiver. I'm going to skip forward past this.
So Jessica came in, she filed a report.
Okay.
I talked to you about it. You wrote a statement saying you didn't have any of her items.
Right.
The report specifically said her retainer and stuff like that, her clothes.
Okay.
Um, do you know anything about where her clothes or retainer might have been?
Like I told her before, the only thing that we might have had would have been in that white trailer, and my stepdad has not mentioned anything else being in there. And we gave everything back that we had because she had put some stuff in like it's like a little foot chase thing.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up, it's got two little boxes. I think we used to use it for like diapers and stuff now, but I mean, everything that she had that I knew of was gone. I got rid of everything I knew of.
The detective starts with questioning Matthew on whether or not he knows where Jessica's items are. This will allow him to answer with the least stress possible so they can catch him in a lie. Since he already lied in a report, he needs to have the same story. He doesn't know yet that they have evidence refuting his statement.
You got rid of a house, so
To either give that to her or her family came back and got it. You know, like she had a big kitchen table and some other stuff that her Aunt Kathy and Uncle Tim come and got. Just different. I think my stepdad actually took a whole bunch of stuff over to her grandparents' house at 2464 East Milner in Pike, which is like right by my parents' house.
okay. So when did you move to LeMay Road?
That would be sometime in March.
March.
Mm.
Uh, through the course of that move, did you find anything that belonged to her at that
No.
point?
No, because if I would have, I would have turned it over to her because I had no need to keep her stuff. The only thing I had at that point was that computer, and me and you had talked about that and gave it back to her
Mm,
because she came over here and talked to Bird.
okay. So you recognize that bag?
Yes, that bag that Jessica let me use to put all my gym stuff in when we used to be together.
The detective brings out the pictures of a bag and asks him if he recognizes it and whose it is. Matthew admits that it is Jessica's. This will add to the prosecution's case that Matthew knew it was hers and still had it anyway.
Okay. So when's the last time you saw that bag?
It's been a long time. Like I said, when I used to work out at there's two gyms in Thomaston. I don't remember the name of it. I used that one, and I had a gray Nike bag I used to work out in. So I interchanged my stuff like protein drinks, powder shakes like pre-workout, workout shorts, pants, shoes, whatever. I put it in that bag or my Nike bag.
So when's the last time that you saw that bag?
I mean, it's been a while. I don't know an exact date. I don't know. I think my stepdad, he had it in the white trailer, and that's been a while. And he brought it, but I haven't been through it or anything. He put it in my storage thing in my house, which is like when you pull in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little storage thing on the right. You open the door and it's got all my stuff in there. I had to clean some of it out recently. That was tossed in there, but I mean, it's in there with a bunch of my stuff, like a brown tub I used to keep in my old patrol car with gym stuff in it and work stuff.
Would that be the utility room or carport room at your new house?
Yeah, that's where I keep I keep stuff in that, and I keep stuff in like what's considered an office in like the back of my house.
Mm-hmm.
I just toss it in there the rest of my gym. But it's just old gym bag.
Earlier, Matthew said he didn't have any possessions of Jessica's, and if he had seen one, he would have returned it. But now he's saying that he did see it when he was cleaning some stuff out. When Matthew admits this, the sergeant clears his throat and runs his hand through his hair. This seems to be a stress response because he knows Matthew has committed felonies, and he now has to confront Matthew even though he has known him for years. I'm sure this was hard for him, and his body language seems to show that.
All right, Matthew. long time?
Yes, sir.
The sergeant starts by putting pressure on Matthew, saying he's known him a long time. Of course, you don't want to lie to somebody who you have respect for. So this puts Matthew in a position to be more truthful.
This bag, you saw it moving when you moved from your apartment to the main road.
I didn't know.
And your stepdad and Wendell saw it, and another female saw it. All right.
Okay.
At the house, in the apartments, yes or no? When you moved from the apartment.
When I moved, like I said, I had all my stuff in the white trailer.
Matthew, that's not what I'm asking you. When y'all were in the process of moving, and you moved into the house that you're at now, your residence, did you or did you not see this bag?
Yes, sir. It was in my storage room in the garage.
He asks Matthew a question, and Matthew begins to go off on a tangent to throw the investigators off course. The sergeant doesn't allow this and reverts back to the original question.
All right. Now, why would I be holding a picture of this bag?
I guess because Jessica brought it into you.
Why would Jessica have it if you had it at your house?
I don't know. I guess somebody got it from my garage and my shed.
Who would have gotten it?
There's a couple of people.
Okay.
I don't know
All right.
exactly who.
And inside that bag, there were numerous contents inside of it. And one of those is this right here. You know what this is?
It's like Jessica's old retainer thing that she had them wear together.
Right.
The sergeant asks how he could have gotten a picture of the bag, which is a tactic used to get Matthew to admit to some form of fault. Matthew said it was Jessica who must have given him the bag, but the sergeant retorts with how could she have got it. Matthew says someone must have given it to her, but doesn't name names. The sergeant moves on to ask him about a picture, again using the tactic of asking, "What is this?" so Matthew can answer freely, implicating himself in knowing it was Jessica's property and she had acquired it before marriage. This is important because they need to prove Matthew stole not marital property, but personal property, and since she had it before the marriage, it counts as personal.
The bag was completely filled with female clothes. And this is one photo of it. That's not yours.
No, not.
All right?
No, sir.
Okay. That's not yours.
No, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who did that belong to?
This got Jessica's name on it, so it'd be Jessica's retainer thing.
If it was in this right here, where would that have been at?
I had all of her stuff in it.
Where would it have been at?
It would have been in my garage thing like I'd said in,
Which is where?
which is at my house.
Which is at your house.
Yes, sir.
The sergeant asks a question and doesn't get a response he likes, so he repeats it. When Matthew still isn't clear enough, he questions further, leaving no doubt for the jury that the bag was in the possession of Matthew. He asks Matthew a question, and Matthew gives him a roundabout answer. He doesn't allow this and says, "That's not what I asked you." Matthew folds to this tactic and answers the question. This is extremely professional work by this sergeant.
Did you buy that for Jessica?
I don't recall. I don't think I did.
Because she
I
had
think her grandparents did.
because she had retainers before she met you, right? Before y'all got married, right?
I believe so.
So that would make it whose property?
Hers.
Not yours, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Whose bag is that?
Jessica's.
And the contents in the bag?
And it's got all her stuff in it.
The sergeant asks again whose stuff it is and if Matthew was in possession. Matthew states in no uncertain terms that he knew whose stuff it was and that the fact that it was in his possession.
So why would you not have brought that to us when you saw the bag at moving?
Sarge, I promise I've not been through that bag. The last time I used that
Matthew,
bag
I
was for the
didn't
gym.
ask you that, Matthew. Listen to me, buddy.
I,
Whose bag is this?
I understand what you're saying. It's Jessica's, and I should have brought it up here.
You know,
Makes
all things, and I don't know anything about your other issue, but all the things involved in reference to this case, all the going around, the statement that you wrote, Where's the statement at?
Let me get it.
The statement that you wrote. The same statement. I didn't read this. I don't know what the statement said. What did it say?
It's just very brief. I gave Jessica her property like I gave her a computer and everything.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Whose is this bag?
It's Jessica's. I didn't think about it because I used it as a gym bag and she let me use it. I understand what you're saying.
Matthew, a police officer.
Yes, sir. I understand.
You're a police officer, Matthew. You know we are held to a higher standard than anybody else.
I understand.
You know, people don't expect us to make mistakes, and they don't realize we're human. I understand that. You
Yes,
understand that.
I should have been smarter about it.
You work out a lot, don't you? You stay in shape.
Try
You're in
to.
good shape, right?
Try to.
You have 2 bags. Did you swap your stuff in between, right?
Yeah, I don't have the other one anymore.
So this would have been your only gym bag. So how would you not know the contents of the bag?
Matthew admits that this is his only gym bag now, and this allows the sergeant to ask him how would he not know what's in the bag if it's the only bag he uses. Matthew is literally just telling on himself.
It just was your gym bag, man.
I have no excuse. Like you said, I should have thought about it and brought it up here.
That's like having 2 cars.
Yes, sir.
If you use 2 cars and you get in the other one and it's out of gas, do you not know it's out of gas?
You're right.
Because you use 2 cars, right?
Yes, sir.
If you were using this, being slap full, when I say it was slap full, I mean it was, I want to say, just a guesstimate, probably 30 or 40 articles of clothing in it. You would have known. I mean, it almost looked like when whoever packed this bag had packed this bag to move.
Yes, sir.
This says Matthew Boynton, January 9th, 2017. I was advised to complete a statement on previous date by Lieutenant Yancey. Jessica Lester Boynton's property was already previously returned to her by my stepdad, Charles McDaniel Jr. Shortly after Jessica got out of this hospital, the dining room table, along with other items, were picked up by Kathy Zellner for Jessica. The remaining items, such as Hope chest clothing and other miscellaneous items, were returned to Jessica. I do not have any other items of Jessica's. This is Matthew Boynton. Is that your statement?
Yes, sir.
What's that, Matthew?
That's Jessica's bag. Jessica's retainer.
You understand you didn't buy that.
I understand.
That does not make it community property.
I understand.
That makes it her property
Yes, sir.
that you're in possession of.
Yes, sir. I understand.
The bag was turned into us. We have possession of the bag.
Yes, sir.
We have evidence that says it came out of your storage room. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir. I said I was just done with my part.
Do you believe that statement to be accurate and true?
Not now.
Did you believe it then?
The sergeant then informs Matthew they have the bag and asks if he knows if it came from his storage. Matthew admits knowledge that it did. The sergeant asks if Matthew believes the statement he wrote. When Matthew says not now, the sergeant pushes farther, asking if he believed it when he wrote it. Matthew relents that he didn't believe it, which is all the evidence needed to show that he lied on a sworn statement.
water or something, Matthew? You sure?
Yes, sir.
I got some right here.
Thank you.
Alright. I'll be right back.
Sorry, man. I go smoke a cigarette.
You're good.
Man, I'm walking around outside. Why would you say you didn't have the damn bag when you had it?
The sergeant asked Matthew to help him understand why he would lie over a bag. This tactic can be used to get the suspect to admit to a motive, but I think the sergeant is actually wondering for his own sake, since he seems personally stressed over Matthew's lies. As he said, they have known each other for a while, and despite how much it pains him, he still has to do what's right, even when it comes to people he is close with.
You know you can't give a sworn statement and lie on it.
I know, Sarge.
Why would you do that, Matthew? It was a bag, man. It wasn't. It's not like it was. Talk to me, man. I mean, help me understand.
Sarge, I swear to God, I know it's hard to believe, but I didn't think about that bag. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wrote. I said, hold on, LT. I got something. Let me go get it. I swear, I wouldn't have done that because I've got 2 kids, 3 and 1. I wouldn't jeopardize that over a bag. I'm telling you, Sarge, if I would have thought about it then, I would have said something.
But you knew you had the bag. Did you not know you had the bag?
I'm sorry, my mind's right. I fucked up. I know I did. I should have turned it in, but not only because I'm a cop, because I should have, because it was Jessica. Even if she let me use it,
It was the right thing to do, man.
I'm clear. Yes, sir. If I would have thought about it then, I wouldn't have messed up and been in this position because of my kids.
But why didn't you turn the bag in when you damn moved?
I don't know what
Because
I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking then.
Did you think you was gonna get in trouble if you turned it in late?
I guess. I don't know what I was going through.
The sergeant tries to give Matthew a little bit of an out by saying, "Did you think you were going to get in trouble if you turned in the bag late?" Matthew doesn't follow that and says, "I guess," which is not a real answer.
In my mind.
What do you think should happen now?
I know that's probably going to happen.
No, that's not what I asked you. So what do you think should happen?
Where's my kids, man? My kids are fucking daddy's boys, man. If I would have thought about it, I would have done it.
Of all the stuff that you see about you, you know if you were in possession of something that belonged to her, you know you could have brought it to me.
you know I'm going to do the right thing, you know I have to do the right thing. I would have took care of it. I would have gotten the bag back to her.
The sergeant asked Matthew what he thinks should happen now. This tactic is usually used to see how guilty a suspect is, since someone who's guilty is obviously going to say a lesser judgment should be placed upon them than they would say for someone else who committed the crime. Matthew tries to say what he thinks will happen, and the sergeant doesn't allow that and asks again. However, Matthew goes back into what he thinks will happen, i.e., losing his kids, and that his kids are daddy's boys and they don't deserve to lose him. I'm not sure, but it seems like he's trying to guilt trip the sergeant into making this go away or be less severe. The sergeant is distracted by this redirect and doesn't ask the question again, but then says Matthew gave him no choice, essentially saying this is not going away.
But when you knew you had the bag and you didn't do anything about it, man, you put me in a situation where I don't have any other choice.
I'm clear. I'm clear. There's no excuse for it. Here. I know it's got that on there. I know. It's so hard, like, I love working here.
I know you do.
And I asked you, I was so scared to come to work every day.
Why?
Because every time I did, it was always 11:79 or 10:22 to 42 come up here. I mean, it's always something. I don't know, maybe I thought that if I brought it up here, I was going to get fired and whatever, man. I don't know. I'm so young and stupid.
But Matthew, you know, doing the right thing regardless, it doesn't matter. If you do the right thing, you can live with yourself.
9 times out of 10, I do. I mean, that's the way I was raised.
But you know that. You know that you have to do the right thing. And when you found, even if you found the bag, you should have said, hey LT, hey SAR, hey whoever, I got something, man. Stop for a minute and talk to me.
I don't know what I was thinking then. I don't know if it's because I was scared. I mean, I told you, I come to work every day scared. Now, there's no excuse. I'm not trying to make one for myself. I know I'm obviously not employed anymore. It's just like, the only thing I can think about now is my kids, man. My kids.
Matthew says how he loves his job, but he was scared he would get caught every day. Then he says he doesn't work there anymore, so all he cares about is his kids. Seems a little suspicious given the tangent about his job.
Daddy's boys. The baby especially. I took him in like he's my own. And I'm not setting a good example right now. I always try to show my kids what's right.
But you know, when you swear an oath, we swear that we're going to uphold the law.
Yes, sir.
Regardless. And you know you can't lie. You can't lie in an investigation. You know that.
Matthew worries about his kids, but the sergeant does not allow this guilt trip. He puts Matthew back in his place. He puts Matthew back in his place by saying, you wouldn't be in this position if you had done the right thing.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I don't know if I was scared or what. I don't know what was going through my mind then.
Does that make it right?
No, it doesn't. I know that. And I know this is everything I've ever worked for, like out the door. My main concern is my kids, man. Because I've got primary custody over them. And this is going to set me back if I get locked up for this. I wake up and seeing them every other weekend. And she's not going to take care of them like she's supposed to. Like, she's supposed to put them on her insurance. I had to do that.
But Matthew, if you did what you were supposed to do, we would not be here in this situation. You think I want to be here?
No, sir.
I would rather be anywhere else than be here.
Matthew says he knows he won't get a good job now, and his main focus is his kids. This seems like a manipulation tactic to try and get the sergeant to feel bad enough to cover it up or lessen the charges, but I don't know. You tell me what you think in the comments below.
Clear.
But if you had done what you were supposed to do, we would not even have to be having this conversation. You would have to worry about it.
Yes, sir.
But you know that we have to do the right thing. We have to do what people pay us to do. You know that. You know that, especially with me and Lieutenant Yancey. You've known us a long time.
Yeah. I don't want to let lose the primary custody of my kids. Like, I know, I mean, no matter where I go now, I'm not really gonna get a good job now, but like the main focus is my kids, man.
Life is not over with. Everything happens for a reason. Just hang tight, okay? You have to get your phone and your glasses. Get your stuff.
Can I get that flashlight and a lot of stuff?
Like and subscribe for more interrogation breakdown and true crime videos to come.